Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. Today is another video, hotel, travel, small space cooking video, and we're going to be making something in the Instant Pot for supper. So y'all just hold tight and we'll get started. Welcome to our channel. My name is Tracy. I'm the keeper of the home here at 4D Farms, where we are all about faith, family, home, and farm. I hope you find something on our channel that will encourage you and inspire you on your journey. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, hit like and subscribe, and be sure to turn that little notifications bell on so you'll get notified every time a brand new video is uploaded. We hope to see you in each and every one. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all excuse my finger. I have already cut myself already. I made me like a little makeshift bandage until I can get downstairs to my truck and get my first aid kit. I was sharpening my knife here with my sharpener, and yes, it's sharp now. Oh yes, honey, it is. I am getting some pre-prep work done. What I'm going to be doing tonight, I'm going to show you my little cookbook that I bring with me. I gotta turn it around. Traveling, and it stays in my box that I use for traveling, and I got it at Ollie's, y'all. Ollie's. Get to Ollie's. Find you one of these. If you can't find it at Ollie's, y'all, I did find it on Amazon, and I put it in our store on our books and DVDs playlist on our store. But y'all, if you can find this at Ollie's, go get you one. I think I bought it last year, y'all, so they may not have it anymore, but at least you know you can find it on the internet, okay? This is what I'm going to be using. Page 8. Let me show you what I'm going to be making. Page 8. Are you ready for this? I'm going to be making corn chowder. How delicious does that look, y'all? How delicious does that look? It doesn't have to be wintertime to enjoy soups, y'all, or chowders, or stews, or chilies. You can have these any time of the year. I'm going ahead and getting some prep work done. I'm going to set my book back over here where I had it, because I'll be going back and forth because I'm trying to spread out here, y'all. And I've got some prep work going on here. I am going ahead and cutting up the vegetables that I need, okay? So, it calls for celery in this recipe, but dear hubby does not like celery. He's not fond of it. So, I'm just substituting with some pepper and some onion, and I'm just going to soup this up a little bit, chowder this up a little bit, and just make some substitutions. It called for cooked bacon, but y'all, right now the price of bacon is outrageous, and to cut down my cooking time, since I don't really want to do it in the air fryer, I just bought the little bacon bits. It's just going to be for topping anyway, so I just bought a little small bag of the bacon bit pieces, and we'll use those for the topping. So let me finish getting a lot of my prep work done, and then we will get started making this chowder. I do have to step in here just a moment. All my prep work is done, but I do have to step in here just a moment, y'all. I've got to show y'all what's really going to be the star of this show that I'm excited about, because I made this up yesterday, and it's going to go with our meal. No, I think I did it this morning, and it is going to go with our meal, y'all. If I can get the bag open, just give me a second. I got to show y'all what's really going to be the star of the show tonight, okay? Y'all know I love my bread. I'm a bread eater. Dear hubby's not really a bread eater. Oh, you can't see it yet. Not going to show you. Dear hubby's not a bread eater. I am. I love my bread, y'all. There's something so comforting to me about the smell of homemade bread. But y'all, we're traveling. We're in a hotel. This is the reason why I love my 5-minute no-knead bread dough, or quick dough, some people call it. I can travel. I can still put put a homemade little loaf of bread or rolls or breadsticks or maybe some hamburger buns, something, using my air fryer. Are y'all ready to see this? Because I'm smelling it and I just want to like just stuff this in my face. How cute is this? Y'all, I cannot wait. Look. 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 And there's not just one. There's two. Two mini loaves of bread. I took my 5-minute no-knead bread dough recipe, halved the recipe. Now, after I made half of the dough, after it did its thing, and I'll explain that in a minute, I halved the dough and I made 2 mini loaves of bread. The other half is in the refrigerator. I'll explain this in a minute. And another night with another kind of soup, maybe broccoli and cheese. Or he found a soup that he wants me to try. And I'm going to try the rustic loaf in the air fryer. I found a way to do it, and I'm going to play around and I'm going to experiment because I just love playing with my food, y'all. I'm a foodie. Okay, that needs to go on a t-shirt, y'all. I'm a foodie. Okay, now, what I mean by my 5-minute no-knead bread dough, if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I also have a bread making for beginners series. And we start from a beginner level. I start you out with things that is like southern, like your cornbread, your biscuits, things like that. Then I start you out on a bread quick dough, 5-minute no-knead bread dough for beginners, because you don't have to knead this bread. This is a perfect bread for people like me. You can use it for traveling. It's a no-knead if you're older and you have trouble kneading bread, arthritic hands, carpal tunnel syndrome, whatever, and you have trouble kneading bread. This is perfect. My mama wanted to learn how to make bread. Y'all, when she was younger, she was the tomboy. She was outside playing with the trucks and the cars with her 2 older brothers. She was not interested in learning how to cook, but that's okay. Now she is. I started her out on this dough. She's been making bread ever since, and she loves it. It's easy for her. She doesn't have a big stand mixer. It's easy for her. She loves making this bread and eats it, her and my daddy, and they love it. So, let's see. And when I'm traveling, I can whip this up, and I did. Y'all, I did do this yesterday, not this morning. I did this yesterday. What I did was I got up that morning, because if you watched that video, or if you don't know anything about this dough, it mimics sourdough, however you want to pronounce it. I may be pronouncing it wrong. Okay, you mix it up. It's a no knead. You mix it up in a container or a tub or something plastic where you can cover it up with a lid, but don't seal it shut. Just place the lid on it, but let it still get just a little bit of air, because it does need a little bit of air. Okay, you are going to the minimal amount of hours that you need to let this sit and ferment and do its thing is 8 hours. The longest is 12. I wouldn't go above 12, because then it will start smelling like a brewery in your house, and you don't want that. And it could get overproofed, okay? And then it won't really work. This 5-minute no-knead bread dough is also what some people like to refer to as a refrigerated dough, where you mix it up, you leave it sitting out to ferment anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. If you're not ready to use it fresh right then to bake with, You put it in that container in the refrigerator dough. You can let it sit in there for up to 7 days. I wouldn't go past that. And grab a hunk out and make something with it. You grab a hunk, leave the rest of the dough in the refrigerator. You take your little hunk of dough, maybe let it sit out for a little bit, come to room temperature, then start working with it and make with it whatever you want to. I will put pictures at the end of this video of my process making this dough yesterday. I got up yesterday morning, I mixed up the dough. It's only 4 ingredients, but I substituted some ingredients and I think I added one. Normally, this dough only calls for water, yeast, sugar, back up, water, yeast, salt, and flour, okay? But I've been working with this dough, playing with this dough, experimenting. I substituted half of the water and I put some milk in it. So I had half milk, half water. Y'all, milk just bumps up your bread a notch, okay? And then I added some sugar, okay? A little bit of sweetener. I used a Splenda, but you can use any kind of sweetener that you want. Sugar, honey, molasses. If you want a darker color bread, molasses is awesome. My mama's been playing around with honey, molasses, and some different things. We've just been playing together and learning together. Mother and daughter learning together, okay? And so that's the only different thing that I did. And y'all, this bread is amazing. So I got up yesterday morning. I mixed up the dough. I let it sit in a bowl, covered up in the windowsill over here, because in the morning time the sun rises in the east and it's just right here in our window, and I'm loving it. So it had a nice warm spot to sit and ferment and rise, and y'all, you'll see in the picture how puffy it got. Okay, now I also started doing something different with my dough, my 5-minute no-knead bread dough. I learned a sourdough trick, where during this 8 to 12 hours, you can open up your lid, scrape the dough, get it into a ball, do some stretch and folds. Yes, it's a no-knead bread. You're not supposed to have to do anything to this bread during that 8 to 12 hours, but I'm like, it's worth a try. Let's just see what it does. And I did it. I did stretch and folds like some people do when they're doing sourdough. Since it's a no-knead bread, you can work that gluten even further and that elasticity a little further with the stretch and folds, okay? You're not needing, let me explain. You take your dough, scrape it away from the bowl. You take a chunk in your hand, stretch, fold it over itself, turn, grab another hunk, stretch up, fold over itself, turn, do this like 4 turns, put the lid back on it, let it go again. Do this about once every hour, okay, hour and a half, I think, during a 12-hour period. I did, or a 9-hour period, because I started it that morning and I wanted this for supper that night. And I think it was like maybe 9-ish hours. I did stretch and folds like 3 times. I stretched mine out a little further time-wise, y'all, because I went to church. Then I had to go get groceries. And so in between that time, I'm like, oh, let's go stretch the bread, okay? But you can do this once every hour, once every 2 hours, stretch and folds. Y'all, it made it shiny. It made it elasticy looking and stretchy, and it just worked that gluten a little more, and this baked up so delicious. This room smelled like freshly baked bread, which it was, okay? Hubby walked in and he's like, you're making bread, aren't you? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I did it in the air fryer in my little, give me a second. my little mini loaf pans. So cute, okay? Y'all, mini loaf pans in an air fryer, in a hotel, homemade bread. You can't go wrong. I will put pictures at the end of the video of the process because I wanted to experiment and play first, and I've done it one other time when we were on a work trip, and I'm like, I didn't video that. It turned out good. We're going to try it again. I like to practice a few times before I do a video on something. Sometimes I do it on a whim. We learn together. But this, I didn't want to screw my bread up. So it turned out wonderful. I will put pictures at the end, show you from the beginning to the end how it turned out. You'll get some wonderful pictures. So let me go over here and finish prepping my vegetables, and we'll get started making this chowder to go with this bread, okay? All right, y'all, let's get to making this. We're going to turn our Instant Pot on to saute. Let it be getting heated up. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the bottom because the first thing it tells you to do is to saute the onions, the peppers, the celery if you're using it. I'm not. And just saute them enough to soften them. So I'm going to take my onions and my peppers, put them in here. If you got celery, put yours in here. You are going to saute these in your Instant Pot on the saute mode for 3 minutes until they're softened. So we're going to get those going. I've got my little recipe book propped up over here, y'all, and the rest of my ingredients going. So we're going to saute these for 3 minutes. Y'all, I used a red bell pepper, but you can keep the same colors and do the yellow. But I like just putting a little extra color in here, so I'm just going to jazz it up a little bit with the red. You could do an orange, but if you want to keep it yellow, okay, use the yellow bell pepper. I just use the red because I just want to see all these contrasting colors by the time I'm done. And I cut these vegetables up just kind of like small, like diced. I don't want like big chunks of onions and peppers because they're not really the star of the show. So I cut them up like dice, really small, okay? All right, y'all, it's been 3 minutes, maybe a little over because I like my onions a little caramelized kind of. So it's maybe like 4 minutes, something like that, 5 minutes. Now it says to stir in the corn. Yes. Let's see, now we stir in the corn and the potatoes. And it says to let these kind of saute or warm up just for like 1 minute, okay? So let me grab my potatoes. All right, there's the corn and the potatoes. We're going to stir all this together, and we're going to give this 1 minute, okay? Y'all, it is smelling good up in here. I know every time I'm in a hotel cooking, y'all, first I have to watch what I'm doing so I don't set the smoke alarm off. But number two, people can go by this room and they know I'm cooking. It don't matter what hotel we're in. They know I'm cooking because they can smell. They probably smelt that bread baking last night, y'all. Okay, so we're going to let this do for 1 minute, and then it says to cook and stir 1 minute. Then we add our broth and our seasonings, and we mix it well. So let's give this a minute. It hasn't been 1 minute yet, I don't think. Let me give this a minute, get my seasonings and stuff ready. This is the corn that I used, y'all. It said a 16-ounce package of frozen corn, the kernels, so this is what I used. Now, I bought 2 bags. This is only a 12-ounce bag. I bought 2, so I just took 4 ounces out of the other bag and just put it in a bowl. But just frozen corn, y'all. All right, y'all, so now we're going to add, it's been a minute, we're going to add the chicken broth. Y'all, you can use the chicken broth in the cans, in the canister, but when I'm traveling, y'all, I have to kind of like buy the least amount of groceries that I can because of refrigerator space and storage space. So I bought the little canister of the chicken bouillon cubes. 1 cube mixed with 1 cup of water is all you got to do. So I did that. Now we're going to add our salt and our pepper. Y'all, you can use any seasonings in here that you want to. I'm going to do salt and pepper, and I'm going to do Old Bay seasoning. What Old Bay goes great with chowder. I like pepper, y'all. I love pepper, okay? I'm going to get the salt. And this one comes out pretty good on the salt, so I ain't got to use as much. We can always season it some more later with salt. Let's see, Old Bay seasoning. Now, it's got on here cayenne pepper, but y'all, I'm not a fan of cayenne pepper. But Old Bay seasoning just kicks things up a notch, y'all. Okay, now, let me give this a quick stir. And it says to put the lid on. Let me dig out my lid. Set it to sealing. Always make sure, y'all. Oh, we're going to turn this off the saute mode. Okay, that was on the saute mode. So now we got to switch it. We're going to put the lid on. We're going to put it to sealing. Now we're going to do, let's see, pressure cook. This is how you can set it manually. We want high. Oh, no, let's see. We need more. There we go, more. Now we're going to take it down to 4 minutes, is what it said. When you're doing the manual pressure cook, y'all, these little buttons on your Instant Pot, if you mash that button, it will automatically set it for what you want it. Time, temperature, everything. All right, now we're going to hit, let me see if it's going to do it on its own. It did. Okay, so if you hit these other buttons on your Instant Pot, like rice, porridge, there's your steam, you got soup and broth, you got meat and stew, bean and chili, poultry. It's automatically preset for those settings, but this one is like the chowder and it's got different vegetables in it. So this little book just tells me what to mash, okay? If you feel comfortable, if you don't feel comfortable manually changing your settings, just pick one of these, okay? So, but that book told me to high pressure, hit the pressure cook button, or yours may say manual, okay? Put it on high pressure, and I just turn the minutes down 4 minutes. It's going to come up to pressure. It's going to seal it, and then I'll start counting down 4 minutes, and we'll get to the next step, okay? I wanted y'all to see this. It is fixing to come up to pressure, and that right there is going to pop up, and then it's going to lock the lid, okay? Always make sure your Instant Pot is on the sealing, because if this is not happening, you don't have it in sealing, and you're going to be wondering what's going on with my food, okay? So that's fixed to pop up just like that, okay? When it gets to the good pressure in there, then it's going to beep, and it's going to start counting down backwards your minutes, okay? Okay, there it is, y'all. It beeped, and now it's beginning to count down, okay? When it gets done counting down, it's going to beep again, and I am going to go ahead and release the pressure. It's called quick release, and I'm going to turn it to venting, and it's going to start releasing all that pressure. Some recipes will call for a quick release, and they'll label it QR. Some recipes will call for a natural release, and they'll label it NR. Natural release means you don't do anything. You don't turn this button to venting. You just let it come down to pressure on its own. Then it will beep, and the lid will unlock. But this one, I can do a quick release, and then once it gets done releasing all the pressure, then I can unlock the lid and put in the rest of the ingredients, okay? So now we're down to 2 minutes. It's done. Now I'm going to turn this to venting. Keep your hand out of the way. Oh, scary. Okay. That is a quick release. See that steam? Don't put your hand over that. But there's a picture above me right here, and I don't want to get their picture dirty, so I'm just going to cover it up and let this steam escape. Okay, it has gotten done releasing its pressure. It's unlocked my lid. Okay, it's going to go into keep warm mode at this point, and then it's going to start counting upward on the keep warm mode. But in this recipe, there's one more thing I have to do. So I'm going to hit cancel, get it off of keep warm. I've got to turn it back on the saute mode. And it said you can partially mash the potatoes if you don't want big chunks. So I'm going to do that just kind of quick. Just going to partially mash some of these potatoes. Now, the next part of the recipe calls for adding in your cream, okay? So there goes my cream. Oh, y'all, look at that. Y'all, when I released this pressure, that started coming out and smelling so good, y'all. I know they smell it down the hall. Okay, dear hubby is going to like this when he comes in. Now, y'all, you need to, it says on here, while it's in the saute mode, let this cook for just maybe like, how many more minutes did it say? 2 to 3 minutes until the soup is thickened. Okay, it's gonna thicken up just a little bit, get that cream incorporated in there. But y'all, I'm going an extra step. The recipe did not call for this. I want a meat in mine. So I've got pre-cooked, smoked andouille sausage, okay, that I'm going to add in there. Just to bump it up a little bit, give us a meat with this. You can leave it in the corn chowder state if you want to. I'm going to be needing this spoon for when I get ready to do it anyway. So let me use this to stir this up. For one thing, I had some andouille sausage left over from another recipe this week. So I needed to use it up right quick. And then I'm like, you know what? Why not? If you want, you can leave this in the just the corn and potato chowder state right now as it is. Just let it hang out on the saute mode for like 2 or 3 minutes till it thickens up a little bit. Or you can just do like I just did and add a pre-cooked meat. Now, if you want a meat in this chowder that's not cooked, you will put it in with the other ingredients and then do it on the 4 minutes, okay? But this andouille sausage was already pre-cooked and smoked. It just needs to be heated up. And it will do that on the saute mode here for just a few minutes and hang out. You can do shrimp. Shrimp, you might want to just wait and put it in this stage. Because y'all, if you've got a pre-cooked shrimp. Now, if you've got a raw shrimp that's not pre-cooked, I would put it in with the 4-minute pressure cook. But also be careful with shrimp because, y'all, shrimp, it doesn't take long for shrimp to cook anyway. So I'm not exactly for sure which stage you would add the raw shrimp. But a pre-cooked meat, you can wait till the end to do it just like this. Diced ham and corn chowder. I'm going to have sausage and corn and potato chowder, okay? I could have stopped just at the corn chowder. Or pre-cooked shrimp. do y'all do y'all. I'm gonna do me. I added a little bit of this because really I needed to get it out of the refrigerator. So I'm gonna let this hang out. Okay, and I let everything incorporate, thicken it up. I'm gonna stir it just a little bit. Then we're gonna plate this up. I'm gonna get my bread out and we're gonna cut it. I'm gonna slice it, and we are going to slather some butter on it, and we're gonna do a little taste test. Okay, so y'all just hold on. I want y'all to see my bread. We're gonna slice this. I'm gonna slice me off a couple of slices. Y'all, this is gonna be good. I need to heat this up just a little bit. I like warm bread, y'all. Look at that. Spongy, soft. Y'all see what milk also does for your bread? Y'all, I can have little mini toasts. I can have like little mini grilled cheese sliders for breakfast. You can make croutons out of this, y'all, if you want to, but I'm not gonna ruin it. I want some bread with my chowder. So is dear hubby. So I'm gonna get me and him some slices off of here. Look at that. Spongy. I'm going to heat up some. I like warm bread, y'all. Look at that. Look at that little bitty piece. I'm just gonna go ahead and taste it cold just to see what it does. This is going to be even better. This is going to be better. Warm, slathered in some butter. I'm going to cut off him some slices, me some slices. We're going to stir a little more, plate this up, bowl this up. We're going to do a taste test. All right, y'all. Here it is. I got it balled up, got some butter on my homemade bread. I've got my bacon bits on top. I put a few little sprinkles of parsley flakes and a little bit of paprika. Let's do a taste test. Let's see what this tastes like. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all, this is hot. You see that steam? I'm gonna get the facial. I'm gonna blow on this. I'm gonna stir just a little bit. Oh, y'all. All right, let's get a little bit of the bacon, a little bit of the andouille. Let's just get a little bit of everything on the spoon, y'all. Onion, pepper, corn, potato, andouille sausage. I think there's a little piece of bacon. I got everything on oh my gosh, y'all. I'm gonna have to blow on this a minute, okay? I got everything, a bite of everything on the spoon. This is gonna be hot. And then we'll have to taste test my bread, y'all. But this is gonna be hot. Give me just a second. This is the first time I've made corn chowder. Now I'm going to be doing more of this at home with our corn at home and just doing it in a pot on the stove. You don't have to do this in the Instant Pot. Just break this down to a stove, okay? And then let it simmer. You can probably do this in a crock pot. Throw everything in the crock pot. Y'all, the andouille sausage kicks it up a notch. Y'all, heaven in a bowl. The streets of gold, pearly gates. This is heaven, y'all. I'm gonna go right over here and I'm gonna sit down and stuff this in my face and enjoy it. Y'all, when we're on work trips and this is what I have to cook with, we don't eat out all the time. I've told you that numerous amounts of times. Just because we're on a work trip and we're away from home, we don't eat out all the time. We just can't. I get creative. I come up with things. I get me some little recipe books. Use these little things. Get these ideas. I'm going to go enjoy this. and this, and I'm going to grab me some tea, and I'm going to shove this in my face. Y'all got to give this a try. Don't be afraid to get those Instant Pots out of the box that you probably got for Christmas last year, a year ago, 2 years ago. You college kids, learn how to use these things so you can get a nutritious meal in you. You see, we just did this together and how easy it was. Y'all got to feed your face too. Y'all got to be able to concentrate. Okay, get them studies done, okay? Learn how to use your Instant Pots, your air fryer. This is what my list is for, y'all. My 4D Farms hotel, travel, small space cooking playlist is for. It's all my recipes where I conform into an organized list where I'm using nothing but Instant Pot, air fryer, microwave if someone has it, and I put meals together just like this one. Y'all, if you want to learn how to do some with those 3 appliances, y'all scroll down. Binge watch one day. You college kids need to learn how to cook you something. Mama's not there to cook and pamper for you anymore. Okay, pamper you and cook for you anymore. You need to learn how to do some of this yourself, okay? You young wives that are starting out, learning how to cook and put meals on the table for your family. These are 2 appliances that you can get by with, y'all. And it's just easy. Y'all, check out some of these videos on this list. I'm going to go stuff in my face now. I will catch y'all in the next one.